millennia after aliens classified Earth as too dangerous, they return, only to find humans hunting apex predators for sport. When the Zalthari exploratory fleet touched down on Earth, they were searching for untapped resources, not nightmares. The year was 3147, Galactic Standard Time. Earth had long been tagged as a rogue planet at the edge of the Orion Spur, largely ignored after initial probes deemed it unstable, chemically erratic, and biologically hostile. But curiosity got the better of the Zalthari, as it often did. Their scouts reported massive biodiversity, flowing water, oxygen-rich atmosphere, and sprawling ruins, evidence of a long-extinct civilization. An opportunity, perhaps. They descended with optimism. That optimism lasted precisely 9 Earth days. Commander Jovek of the 3rd Reconnaissance Division gave the evacuation order himself. His message to Central Council, transmitted moments before his ship left orbit, became infamous across the cosmos. This world is alive. Fights back. Burn it from the charts. No trade. No colonization. Nothing. Earth is a death world. That label stuck. The Council etched it into the Galactic Registry in crimson, a mark reserved for only the most hostile of planets, ones that defied terraforming, resisted habitation, and posed existential threats to sentient life. But what the Zalthari failed to understand, what no alien race could comprehend, was that Earth wasn't always like this. Humanity had nearly destroyed itself 1,000 years before the Zalthari's arrival. Global collapse, environmental failure, war, disease. The old systems broke down, and with them, the soft skin of civilization peeled away, revealing something older, primal, and far more durable. The Earth they visited was not Earth as it had been, but Earth reforged in blood and chaos. The humans who remained, scattered, hardened, driven beyond comprehension, didn't merely survive. They adapted, and they evolved. Deep in the shattered remains of Europe, nestled between acidic rivers and toxic fungal forests, a tribe called the Vexen ruled the old lands. Their skin had grown thicker, resistant to ultraviolet radiation that pierced the thinned atmosphere. Their lungs filtered toxins. Their immune systems adapted to bioengineered plagues left behind by the final wars. Their eyes glowed faintly in the dark, seeing in spectrums once alien to their ancestors. They were not the same species anymore. Kara, daughter of the Vexen chieftain, led hunting parties into zones marked red by the old satellite data. Places where no human should have survived. Yet they thrived. The great silver structures the aliens had abandoned in their panic still stood, warped and moss-covered. Some hummed faintly, haunted by ancient energy. Kara found one of these towers, the tall one, with spires that reached like claws into the murky sky. The tribe called it the Spire of Ghosts. Inside, the air smelled of ozone and decay. Her team moved with silence. They had learned long ago not to disturb the machines. Some sang, some screamed. Others wept quietly in the static. But today the tower was still, until it wasn't. A flicker, a pulse of light, an image, holographic and fractured, flickered into life. An alien figure, translucent and twitching, began speaking in a garbled tongue. Kara froze. Behind her, Jorik, the oldest of the scouts, whispered, "Zalthari." The word had survived. Like a myth. Stories told in firelight about the sky demons who came, saw, and fled. Boogeymen from the stars who couldn't endure Earth's wrath. But Kara did not flee. She stepped forward, slowly, curiously. The hologram repeated itself, then translated into Old Terran standard. "Do not stay here. This world is cursed. You will not survive." She laughed, not out of amusement, but out of something deeper, pride, rage. The irony of it all. "You couldn't survive," she whispered. "But we did." For years after that, her tribe returned to the spire. They learned. They scavenged. They integrated alien tech into their way of life, twisting it with their own mutations. Firearms that read DNA. Armor that breathed. Implants that whispered warnings of approaching predators before they were heard. Across the oceans, similar stories unfolded. In what remained of North America, the Ashwalkers rode biomechanical beasts down radioactive highways. They wore suits made of scavenged alien exosuits and human bones, their culture a violent fusion of chaos and evolution. They spoke of a child born with iron in her blood. Literally. Metal laced her bones, a mutation or perhaps the side effect of some long-forgotten nanovirus. They called her Tetra. By 15, she'd taken control of the ruins of Chicago. By 20, her followers believed she was the next stage in human evolution. Unburnable, unbreakable, untouched by disease or poison. The aliens would have dissected her. Earth crowned her queen. Then there were the silent. Hidden beneath the ice of the former Antarctic, they weren't seen often. But when they were, they moved without sound, without heat, without fear. Some said they had merged with machines. Others claimed they had become machines. The truth was murkier. What was certain? They had built a signal. It activated 50 years after the Zalthari left. A ping. A soft, rhythmic call into the void. An invitation or a challenge. It didn't take long for someone to answer. The Drex Confederation, a more militant race than the Zalthari, intercepted the signal. They laughed at the Deathworld classification. Myths? They scoffed. Stories told by weaklings. They had conquered acidic planets, hunted plasma serpents, even tamed neutron storms. Earth, they decided, would make a fine conquest. They arrived in force. 12 ships, thousands of warriors, mechs, bioweaponry, orbiters with planet-scouring lasers. They didn't last a week. It wasn't just the environment, though that proved immediately hostile. Spores clogged their filters. Winds stripped armor. Lightning shorted systems. It wasn't just the creatures, though Earth's wildlife had become monstrous. Insect packs that operated like hive minds. Amphibians that melted metal with secretions. Birds that mimicked distress calls to lure intruders into ambushes. It was the humans. Fast, smart, brutal. They didn't fight like any species the Drex had seen. They didn't retreat when outgunned. They used terrain, disease, fear. They whispered across forests using sonic pulses. They guided beasts into enemy camps. They tore open Drex mechs and wore their cores like trophies. Within 5 days, the lead Drex warship exploded in orbit. On day 6, the Vexen rode its falling wreckage like gods on fire. The message was sent again, louder this time. Earth is not for the taking. But that didn't stop the galaxy. Curiosity, arrogance, greed, they never faded. Scouting drones were sent by the Urak Combine, hoping to map the Deathworld for salvage. Only one drone returned. It carried with it video footage of a child, no more than 10 years old, looking directly into the drone's lens. Her eyes glowed. Her skin rippled like glass. She opened her mouth and the drone's feet cut to static. The Urak called it a technological fluke. Then the child appeared again, this time on a broadcast inside the Urak capital's DataNet. No one had transmitted her. She simply appeared, smiling. "Don't come back," she said. More drones vanished. Then satellites. Then a moon colony suffered a system-wide collapse of its AI core. The virus traced back to Earth, buried in the signals sent by the silent. Humanity was no longer just surviving. It was expanding. But not in the way aliens expected. Not with ships or trade routes. With code. With spores. with whispers and mutated minds that could think faster, adapt harder, and evolve with every failure. They weren't interested in joining the galactic community. They were something else now, a force, a reminder that life, when pressed, when crushed, when nearly extinguished, didn't just bounce back. It changed, and the galaxy watched, afraid. The Deathworld had children, and they were coming of age.